You are a bad guy, but this does not mean you're a bad guy.
He's assigned the role of the villain. Ralph wants a different role than what's been assigned to him. Telling the truth and then dealing with it in the moment is always better, because even if they don't like what you have to say, they trust that you will be honest with them. Ralph was created to destroy. He was programmed with these giant hands so he could smash
things. Yep. Being a bad guy is being a good guy.
Our gifts, our talents are to be used the way we choose for them to be used. The thing about being treated as the bad guy is you start to believe it and act accordingly, when you can actually be something different.
This is how I be a good bad guy.
And not everybody's going to see it, not everybody's going to accept it. The only thing that really matters is if you see it and accept it here, because you're the one who makes that change.
This episode was filmed before the writers and actors strike. Without their labor, our show wouldn't exist. We support their strike efforts. If you'd like to support them as well, go to www.entertainmentcommunity.org and donate. Hello everyone and welcome to Cinema Therapy. My name's Alan Seard. I'm a professional filmmaker who needs therapy. That guy is
Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist who loves original video games from the 80s, like classic 8-bit stuff, and movies.
Well, I've got a treat for you, my friend.
Oh boy, howdy!
We're going to talk about Wreck-It Ralph.
Nice.
One of the best Disney movies of all time.
Okay, well,
bold statement.
That's a bold statement. I mean, have you considered Return to Oz?
I have, and I still have nightmares about it.
All right, so I'm reacting to Wreck-It Ralph.
You are reacting to Wreck-It Ralph. Is he a villain?
No.
No, he's not.
Not in the classical sense. He's assigned the role of the villain, the same way families do when they have like someone who's the bad guy so everyone else can be good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Getting to the juice right off the bat.
But it's all bull. So,
wow.
Yeah. Let's dive in. I love this movie.
It's so good. I love this movie.
I don't want to be the bad guy anymore.
Can't mess with the program, Ralph.
You're not going turbo, are you?
Turbo? No, I'm not going turbo. Come on, guys. Is it turbo to want a friend? Or a medal? Or a piece of pie every once in a while? Is it turbo to want more out of life?
Yes.
Ralph, we get it. But we can't change who we are. And the sooner you accept that, the better off your game and your life will be.
Hey, one game at a time, Ralph.
One game at a time.
Now let's close out with the bad guy affirmation.
Dr. Robotnik.
I am bad, and that's good. I will never be good, and that's not bad. There's no one I'd rather be than me.
Okay, gang, see you next week.
Hot damn, that's a good scene. That scene does so much. There's 50 jokes. Most of those jokes are setting up other things that are going to pay off later.
Yeah.
The bad guy affirmation is hilarious and then becomes one of the most
Poignant,
affirming and poignant lines of dialogue in a movie.
Yeah.
It's giving us a bunch of exposition about like how the video game world works. Oh man, it's so good.
Ralph wants a different role than what's been assigned to him.
Yeah.
And not just the role, but the outcomes.
Right.
Which the best Disney films, especially the most of the modern Disney films, sneak in real world themes without whacking you over the head with it. Mm-hmm. There's 1,000 applications for that right there in real life. And so that means this movie speaks to so many different people on a real core level. But I don't want to be bad. I want people to love me, to accept me. That's universal. We have this protagonist who's an antagonist. He's the antagonist of the game. He's the protagonist of the movie, and we instantly relate to him. That's beautiful.
Yep.
You know, this angry little guy here might be a lot happier if you put him up here with everyone else. See that? Look at that smile.
No. You see, Ralph, there's no room for you up here.
Well, what about this? We can make room. Here, we can take turns. Easy.
How about we just eat the cake?
Hang on. Felix needs to be on the roof because he's about to get his medal.
Well, then how about we just take that medal and give it to Ralph for once? Would that be the end of the world, Gene?
Now you're just being ridiculous. Only good guys win medals. And you, sir, are no good guy.
I could be a good guy if I wanted to, and I could win a medal.
Uh-huh. And when you do, come and talk to us.
And then would you finally let me be on top of the cake with you guys?
If you won a medal, we'd let you live up here in the penthouse. But it will never happen because you're just the bad guy who wrecks the building.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm
All of the cake splatters are pixelated. I love this movie so much.
Yes, you are.
All right, Gene. You know what? I'm gonna win a medal. Oh, I am gonna win a medal. The shiniest medal this place has ever seen. A medal that will be so good that it will make Felix's medals wet their pants. And good night. Thank you for the party.
Is he serious? Oh, please. Where's a bad guy gonna win a medal? Of course he's not serious.
I've never been more serious about anything in my life.
That is a tropey joke, and it works every time.
Right?
This is a thing you can only do in movies, is a joke by cutting from one thing to an unrelated.
Hold that thought.
When he goes to Tappers to meet with the bartender,
Where he gets root beer?
we've got root beer float flavored Internet Dad's popcorn, which has got little root beer kernels and little vanilla kernels. So that it goes, it's actually kind of perfect.
It's really, really great.
Internet Dad's popcorn, you can get this from our store. The link is in the comments below.
It's got our faces on it. Yum. Eat our faces.
No, I'm not crazy. You're eating my face.
We are handed roles from society based on race, gender, sexuality. We're handed roles based on our positions in our family. We're handed roles based on our body types. People make assumptions and they box us because we like our world to be neat and orderly. The fact is, most of us aren't happy with the roles we're assigned because that goes against the whole notion of choosing it for yourself and finding it for yourself. The journey of Ralph is so universal. It's no wonder this was a hit, on top of how well animated it is and how witty it is, how well it uses nostalgia.
It's not a cudgel.
Yeah.
It makes sense in the reality of the world to have a bunch of nostalgic things, and then it's little candy for your brain.
So let's take a look at how Ralph makes it through the other side to create something new for himself. I want to live in Sugar Rush.
Why hasn't Disney released a Sugar Rush game?
Right? A game
Like
based
Mario
on...
Kart makes so much money, and Sugar Rush looks like it would be just as much fun, but you could put it on every console. I would buy the hell out of a Sugar Rush game.
And what little girl wouldn't want to be Vanellope in Sugar Rush?
Right?
And little boys, like a lot of people would.
You scared me, kid. Nearly soiled myself.
What's your name?
Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph.
You're not from here, are you?
No, well, yeah. I mean, not from right in this area. I'm just doing some work here.
What kind of work?
There's some routine candy tree trimming. You probably want to stand back. In fact, this whole area is technically closed while we're trimming.
Who's we?
Candy tree department.
Where's everybody else?
Oh, it's just me today.
So you just meant like the royal we?
Yep. That's right.
Are you a hobo?
No, I'm not a hobo, but I am busy. Okay, so you go home.
What's that? Didn't hear you. Your breath is so bad it made my ears numb.
Listen, I try to be nice. You're mimicking
You're
me.
mimicking me.
Okay. That is rude, and this conversation is over.
I wouldn't grab that branch if I were you.
I'm from the candy tree department, so I know.
It's a double stripe. Double stripes break, adoy.
Vanellope von Schweetz is so annoying and so perfect. Every time I watch this movie, I thank the comedy gods for giving us Sarah Silverman.
Speaking of which, how do you create a character who annoys the other characters, but not the audience?
It's a really tough ask. You have to balance how annoying your character is to the other characters with how much you, as the audience, get to see a different side of that character.
Yeah, you sympathize with her.
Yeah.
Well, and also for the comedy to work, I think you have to enjoy, as an audience member, the character who's being annoyed. It needs to be funny.
You have to enjoy the way they're getting annoyed. Not only do we have an extended director's cut on Patreon, where we talk more about Calhoun and her PTSD and all of that, this episode was actually selected by our Patreon members. So if you want to do that, go to our patreon.com/cinematherapy. You can be a patron, you can boss me and Jono around. Like Calhoun would, if she was real.
Say that. It was real to me.
I want to be bossed around by Jane Lynch. Can we make that happen? Also, stay tuned, because next week we're going to do a live stream. We're going to talk a lot more about Patreon because it's our 1-year anniversary over there, and we're doing some cool new stuff. So come check it out. So say it with me. I will never be good, and that's not bad. There's no one you'd rather be than our patron on Patreon. Right? Did I do it right?
What a moron. Hey, genius! It's a jawbreaker! You're never gonna... Huh. Enjoy your little tantrum, diaper baby?
Leave me alone.
Look, you want that medal, right? And I want a race. So here's what I'm thinking. You help me get a new cart, a real cart, and I'll win the race and get you back your medal.
You want me to help you?
All you gotta do is break something for me. Come on, what do you say, friend?
We are not friends.
Aw, come on, pal. You son of a gun. Go on, buddy, but shake on it. Come on, Chumbo. Ralph, my man. My main man.
My main man.
Here's the thing. Ralph was created to destroy. Right? He was programmed with these giant hands so he could smash things.
Yep.
And so the assumption is that is what he's good for. And I don't know. I think of people who have a lot of anger, for example, and they think, well, this is a character flaw that I've got to get rid of. No, just direct it, right? Just direct it in a healthy way. Like if you can become, for example, a fighter or a boxer or a wrestler, and you can use that within bounds and limits of rules, where you're not going to permanently hurt somebody, hopefully, like that can be a healthy thing. I know people who have a lot of anger and they fight, and then it stays there, and they're really healthy outside of the ring, you know? Or for example, we talk about you and I both having ADHD, that people could see that as a defect, or you're not going to succeed in this, that, or the other, instead of, no, what this actually is it's a strength in certain contexts. Right? ADHD people tend to be very creative and to make and they tend to be great at comedy because they make connections that other people
just don't.
Yeah, these are just a couple of examples. And so I look at Ralph and he thinks, well, I have to be a villain because I'm big and strong and I've got these big hands. But Vanellope's saying, actually, you can do something productive that helps somebody, which is something that a hero would do. Our gifts, our talents are to be used the way we choose for them to be used.
So let me get this straight.
His feet.
You don't know how to drive.
Well, no, not technically, but I just thought that...
What did you think? Oh, I'll just magically win the race just because I really want to.
Look, wise guy, I know I'm a racer. I can feel it in my code.
Oh, that's it. I'm never getting my medal back.
What is the big whoop about that crummy medal, anyway?
The big whoop? Well, this may come as a shock to you, but in my game, I'm the bad guy, and I live in the garbage.
Cool.
No, not cool. Unhygienic and lonely and boring. And that crummy medal was gonna change all that. I go home with that baby around my neck and I'll get a penthouse, pies, ice sculptures, fireworks. It's grown-up stuff. You wouldn't understand.
No, I get it. That's exactly what racing would do for me.
Well, guess what?
What?
Newsflash! Neither one of us is getting what we want!
Vanellope is seen and treated by others in the game as a mistake, as a glitch, something or someone that doesn't belong. And she dreams of a better life for herself. Ralph isn't seen as a mistake as much as your purpose is to be bad. I mean, I don't know that I really have to spell out the modern and real life parallels of this for marginalized groups of people, but it's pretty powerful storytelling when you let yourself consider it through that lens. And mental health, mental illness. People with mental illness. Am I a glitch? Am I a mistake?
Just got pixlexia, okay?
I wish I could have a better life. I wish I could have a normal life. I wish I could be praised and adulated. Or my mental illness or my personality disorder means that I'm the bad guy in other people's relationship stories. The thing about being treated as the bad guy is you start to believe it and act accordingly when you can actually be something different. And not everybody's going to see it. Not everybody's going to accept it. The only thing that really matters is if you see it and accept it here, because you're the one who makes that change. Nobody else is going to make it. And the people who are worth having around are the ones who are going to see it.
Well, and one thing that's really interesting about this scene, the way it's written, they're both convinced that some kind of external achievement, getting a medal, winning a race, is going to fix internal problems.
Yeah.
Like the problems that you just talked about.
My lack of self-worth.
Right.
Right? That if I can accomplish this, then I can love myself, or then I can accept myself, or if others accept me, then I can finally give it to me. And that's not how that works. In fact, one of my favorite quotes ever is Jim Carrey saying, "I wish everybody could be rich and famous, because then everyone would realize that it doesn't give you happiness.
No.
We tie our worth to outcomes instead of to our growth, and that bites us every time.
Penelope.
Shush! Close them! Okay, open them up.
To stink brain. Gee, thanks.
Turn it over. I made it for you. Just in case we don't win. Not that I think there's even a remote chance we're not gonna win.
Thanks, kid. Listen.
Now rise, my royal chump. I've got a date with destiny. Ralph, come on. Move your molasses.
I've been thinking.
That's dangerous.
Who cares about this stupid race anyway, right?
It's not very funny, Ralph.
No, I'm serious. And it was really fun to build the car and everything, but maybe you shouldn't do it.
Hello? Is Ralph in there? I'd like to speak to him, please.
Look, what I'm saying is you can't be a racer.
What? Why would you... Wait a minute.
No!
Where did you get this?
Look, I'm gonna be straight with you, kid. I've been talking to King Candy.
King Candy?
Yeah.
You sold me out?
No, I didn't. Listen, you don't understand.
No, I understand plenty, traitor.
I'm not a traitor. Listen.
You're a rat! And I don't need you. And I can win the race on my own.
But I'm trying to save your skin, kid.
Let me down! Let me go!
No, you listen to me. You know what's gonna happen when the players see you glitching? They're gonna think the game's broken.
I don't care, you're a liar!
Yo, you better care, because if your game goes out of order, you go down with a ship, little sister.
Get out of my way! I'm going to that race!
No, you're not.
Trying to save her life.
Let me down from here, Ralph!
No.
Right now!
I'm doing this for your own good.
Wait. No, please, Ralph! No, stop
The power of filmmaking. A cartoon bad guy just smashed a candy car with his house-sized fists, and I am tearing up. Because the music was great, the editing was on point, the vocal performances from the actors was phenomenal, and the animators crushed it. The fact that you can pick up the subtlety in Ralph's face, that he knows and he hates that he has to do it.
And he knows she's going to hate him for it, but he cares more about saving her than what she thinks about him.
Yeah.
Which, for Ralph, who has wanted people's acceptance all along, she just gave him a medal that says, "You're my hero." He finally has somebody who loves and accepts him. And to protect her, he's going to sacrifice what he always wanted, which is that love and acceptance. He knows the moment he starts hitting that car that she's going to hate him.
Yeah. And by this point, he's already kind of come around to the fact that, like, okay, I got my medal back, but that's not important to him anymore.
Yeah.
Like, getting the medal is because he already has the thing that he was getting the medal to get from her. And so he's throwing away the thing that he wanted, and he knows he's throwing it away, but he's doing it for, in his mind, you know, a good purpose.
Well, and there's also the aspect of he was afraid to tell her that he'd been talking to King Candy and tell her everything that had been going on. So he tried to go about it in a non-direct way, and then she saw the medal, which means she thinks he's keeping secrets, and then she assumes it's all a lie, and what are your motives actually? This is why, even when you're afraid of what's going to happen, it's best just to tell the truth. I'm not talking about cases of abuse where telling the truth can trigger...
Can get you hurt, yeah.
Yeah, can get you hurt. I'm talking about in a normal, healthy, or a relationship where you're trying to have a healthy relationship even. Telling the truth and then dealing with it in the moment is always better. Because even if they don't like what you have to say, they trust that you will be honest with them.
Right.
And that is huge. And Ralph hasn't got there yet because he's never really had relationships. He's been an outcast for so long. He hasn't learned that lesson. Frankly, most of us haven't learned that lesson because we make decisions, same as him, based on fear.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to lose her and then created a situation where he lost her.
What you said about trust is really, really important, I think. You can achieve in a relationship 100% trust. You cannot achieve 100% likability.
Yeah.
Even if you try.
Yeah.
By, like, being untrustworthy to maintain likability.
Yeah.
Eventually that will bite you in the ass.
Yes.
Being 100% trustworthy will never bite you in the ass.
Yeah.
There will be moments where it sucks, but
Yeah.
it's not going to be a long-term problem.
And you have respect. You have mutual respect of, listen, I don't like what you told me, but I respect that you told me the truth.
Yeah.
Hello? Anybody home?
And he comes
Felix?
back. He's gotten what
Mary?
he always wanted.
Well, you actually went and did it.
Gene, where is everybody?
They're gone. After Felix went to find you and then didn't come back, everyone panicked and abandoned ship.
But I'm here now.
It's too late, Ralph. Litwack's pulling our plug in the morning. But never let it be said that I'm not a man of my word. The place is yours, Ralph. Enjoy.
Gene, wait.
He only moves in straight lines.
This is not what I wanted.
Well, what did you want, Ralph?
I don't know. I was just tired of living alone in the garbage.
Well, now you can live alone in the penthouse.
I mean, Gene could have been a bit more compassionate from the get-go, and we wouldn't have had this problem.
You know, it's not in his program.
But this is a classic what the character wants versus what they need.
Right.
And
he got what he wants.
Yeah, and it's hollow. To the point of what you were saying before, they thought they could solve internal problems through external achievements.
Yeah, so the want was an external achievement.
And he achieved it. He got the medal, he came back, and...
He's got the penthouse.
Yeah, and he's got the penthouse. And he's not happy.
And it's not just because it's a Pyrrhic victory, right? You know, he gets the penthouse and no one's there and they're shutting the game down. He's not happy when he walks in the door.
Correct. Because he could come back to a house full of people at the party saying, well, I can't believe you did it. You got the medal. Well, welcome. You're here with us. Have some cake.
Here's a pie.
And he'd still feel hollow because he left things the way he did with Vanellope.
Yeah.
The person who truly saw him and truly accepted him, and he burned that bridge.
Yep.
So got to make it right.
You have to fix this go-kart for me pronto.
No! Ralph, you don't know what it's like to be rejected and treated like a criminal.
Yes, I do. That's every day of my life.
It is?
Which is why I ran off and tried to be a good guy, but I'm not. I'm just a bad guy. And I need your help. There's a little girl whose only hope is this cart. Please, Felix, fix it. And I promise I will never try to be good again.
Power of perspective taking.
Felix does a really good job of listening after, you know, venting. Which is totally fine. Sometimes you gotta vent.
But when Ralph says, yeah, I do, that's been every day of my life, you can see something shift a little bit in Felix. And that is the power of perspective taking, because everyone's choices make sense to them. Everyone's actions and behaviors make sense to them. And we're very prone to judge and to scold like Felix is doing. But the moment we connect with what they're feeling, it's like, oh, like even if I still don't agree with the behavior, I understand it. And I no longer see you as the bad guy. Right? Which is kind of the theme of the movie.
Well, and because he took that perspective, this is Felix's first moment where he's really truly seen Ralph. He's never been a huge jerk to Ralph. He's always kind.
No, unlike the
Nicelanders are not great.
The Nicelanders are not so nice. Felix has always been like okay to Ralph, but
this is his first time really truly seeing him.
What's funny to me though, or maybe ironic, is Ralph saying, "It's fine. I'll never try to be a good guy again. I'll accept that I'm a bad guy, but can we please help this little girl?"
Yeah, I'll never try to be a good guy again. Do this good guy thing for me.
And so Ralph actually is a hero, but he's not seeing it.
Look at that, it's your little friend. Let's watch her die together, shall we?
No!
It's game over for both of you.
Alan Tudyk is so talented.
Just for me.
Ralph! Vanellope!
I'm bad, and that's good. I will never be good, and that's not bad. There's no one I'd rather be than me.
That's just incredible, incredible writing. To take something from the first 5 minutes of the movie and repeat it, but having completely changed the meaning of it.
Yeah.
For the audience and for the character, this is his full circle. Like, I've completely come around to being a bad guy is being a good guy. This is how I be a good bad guy.
Well, as funny as the line earlier on, just because you're a bad guy doesn't mean you're a bad guy, right? And in the moment you think, and I love movies that do this. Edgar Wright movies do this a ton, but movies that will do a joke earlier on that's actually a seed for an emotional moment later on.
It's telling you what's going to happen later in the movie if you're paying attention.
Yeah, I love it. And I also love that little beat, speaking of showing, not telling, where he says, I will never be good, and that's not bad. And then he looks at the medal that says, you're my hero.
Yeah.
And so, of course, what we all arrive at in that moment is, of course, you're good. And, of course, you're a hero. But no one actually has to say it to him. Like, it's all just shown, right?
Yeah.
And you feel what Ralph is feeling in that moment because he's falling, but how is he falling? Like a superhero.
Like Superman.
Yeah, he tries to sacrifice himself. Of course, Vanellope glitches her way into his and all of our hearts, but also saves him. So,
but also into an erupting volcano.
None of us are programmed. None of our destinies are programmed. We can choose
Yeah.
how we're built, what our talents are, what our weaknesses are, and what our perceived weaknesses are that may actually be strengths. Like, that's all in there inside of us, but we get to choose where we arrive at. And frankly, that's kind of what therapy is how I'm approaching life and how I see myself and how I see my relationship to the world is not serving me, and I'm miserable.
Yeah.
So how can I take what I have and who I am, which may not be changeable, like at the core of it, but how can I change my perspective of it and how I use it in a way that serves me and brings me fulfillment? And that is therapeutic, and that is Wreck-It Ralph.
So until next time.
Oh, you hit a guy with glasses. Well played.
If I'm good guy, who will crush men's skull like sparrow's egg between thighs?
And watch movies.
Watch movies.
Oh, watch the movies with King Candy.
They're so good. We'd like to thank our patrons
for supporting our channel.
Oh my goodness.
Getting exclusive content from us patrons like
David,
Emily Weeks,
Joshua H,
Ashley Carroyo,
and Space Meta. Thanks, patrons. It's because of you that we get to talk like this.
Yay, and eat our candy.